Hello traders and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 72. It's Iliya here, and as always I'm super glad to have you on my channel. As you know, in this video we're gonna have a look at the market, how it developed this week, what opportunities did we have, what trades did I take, and what we can potentially expect for the upcoming week. So it was a pretty nice week. We had some nice movements, but overall pretty major. Again, just price jumping from supply and demand areas and this sort of stuff, not providing us with clear trends. I took two trades, overall break even. Again, I'm finishing the month kind of break even-ish, but we still have 1 week to prove ourselves, so let's see what it is. But again guys, we're having the elections on the 3rd of November, so currently we are trading in a little bit of a dangerous times, so we don't know what to expect. The market is just jumping up and down. You see gold, it's not moving as well, so definitely we are waiting the elections and then potentially we're gonna have a movement, and maybe then, I don't know, it's my first year trading elections, so I'm pretty excited about it to see what's gonna happen. So trade safe, minimize your risk, and don't trade too much as well. So if you're new to the channel, it's all about trading. I share weekly analysis every Saturday. I share educational content, and I'm gonna share more of the emotional and psychological side. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell in order not to miss the content that is upcoming. I'm gonna do more for sure. So if you already did, let's see what do we have for this week. As always, starting with our friends the DXY, to have a look what the dollar did this week and potentially build a bias around the dollar, which is going to show us what potentially the other pairs can do. So as you can see, we have a pretty nice bearish candle right here engulfing the previous week. So this is pretty nice, an indication that the market can potentially go down. Can we target the lows right here? Potentially, yes. We don't have like it's almost like 100 pips or something, so it's definitely achievable for next week. So let's drop to the daily time frame to see the structure right there. So as always, I usually look at the last 5 days of price action as a day trader, and if we go back 5 days, you see the market open right here, straight with bearishness, continuation on Tuesday, continuation on Wednesday, creating the lower low, and then actually on Thursday we had a little bit of a pullback to retest the previous structure right here, and then on Friday we had another liquidity gap to the upside, just to catch more liquidity, and then we started to roll to the downside, but actually closing as an inside bar formation right here. It's not really inside bar, but like the bodies are inside. So what we can expect, guys, we can expect the market to run to the downside. Potentially it can take us in around those areas right here, which is around 92. So 92 key level can definitely be tapped, and as you can see from the daily time frame, we are starting to shift in a bearish environment. We had that break, retest, and potentially we can expect the dollar to flush even further. And then from the hourly time frame, so the market opened right here with a nice push to the downside. It created an equal low right here, which is nice. However, if you have a look again, if you have the knowledge of minor structure, you are gonna see that right here we attempted to make a higher low in order to push higher, but the market failed and created a lower high. And then on that push, I was already sell biased, and I actually expecting a head and shoulders formation, the market to pull back a little bit more, but it perfectly tested my EMA, and then it just flushed to the downside, providing almost no pullback. It was just right here, and then we continued to the downside, fulfilling the targets. I had a daily target as well right here, at a pretty nice level, exactly this week right here, which is a nice liquidity block. If I just drop the ray right here, you can see it got tapped to perfection, 92,500. It was fulfilled. So right now I can expect the market to even go below. So the levels that I'm going to be working with are this high right here, because this is the major lower high, which actually stems from right here as well. And as for the low, I will not mark this low. I will just mark a little line like this to see how the market is going to play out. And there are a few scenarios that might develop on this market. If the market is bearish, then the week is going to open bullish, potentially to grab liquidity, and then we're going to start rolling down. All right, the market can as well just punch to the downside, can happen, and then the market can come into those areas again to try to find resistance, maybe to stop hunt above, and then we are gonna see. So make sure to stay tuned for my Tuesday analysis, because I always let Mondays play out and then I'm ready to strike on Tuesday. So I'm having a bearish outlook on the dollar, but I'm wanting to see a little bit of a retracement first before the flush down. Euro USD weekly time frame, as you can see, it found perfect support 4 weeks ago from the EMA, and then it created a nice push to the upside. We had 1 week of a pullback, and this week was a nice continuation to the upside. So similar to the dollar, we can expect the market to run into those highs right here, potentially, yeah, 1.20. I would say 1.20 is a pretty nice key round number that the market can achieve. So we definitely have some upside potential. And as you can see from the daily time frame, the market opened right here to the downside. It was pretty low. We started with a little indecision. This is actually 16th of October. So we actually started pretty much bullish. The market just exploded to the upside, little to no pullback, another explosion, another continuation, Thursday pullback, and then on Friday we just dipped to the downside to tap into a nice supply and demand area, and then we started to pump to the upside. So right now what worries me on EU is that there is a lot of support and resistance right here on the left. I cannot even mark it because I can take a big line like this and I can say here's your support and resistance, but I don't trade like this. I will just know that there are a lot of orders sitting right here and a lot of resistance. All right. Dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, you can see the market just created a little low right here in market open, strong push to the upside. So we were looking for trades right here, but I didn't take that trade because I doubted it. So what did we have right here is the market finding beautiful support, stop hunt to the downside, and after this engulfing candle right here, I was looking for a trade. However, you can see after the stop hunt, I didn't enter right here, and I was looking for an entry around these areas. So after this candle right here, I said, okay, this is not a clear break. It kind of looked like a double top as well. So I said, okay. And when the market pushed higher right here, I said, okay. So, but it already retested the area. And after this bearish candle, I set my order around these areas right here. The stop loss was tight because I didn't want to place it like this. I placed my stop loss like that, 12, 13 pips. And the market did not trigger me in because it already retested. And then I was just left watching the price continue to massive profits, but it is what it is. Then what happens on the 4-hourly time frame, we reached into those areas right here and the market nicely pulled back, and this was a pretty nice as well, nice liquidity block right here that the market punched into, withdrew from the level, and then came back again to retest. So right now, what am I looking for Euro USD? Keeping it super simple because this is how I trade. Here is your high that the market reacted from, and here is your major low. So in between right here, we started to form minor structure, but it's nothing of significance. So right now, Euro USD is sitting in the middle of this range. And what I want to see is I want to see how Monday is going to develop in order to judge where the market might go. I'm having a bullish outlook. So if this is going to go bullish, then potentially the market will create a low on Monday, pull back around those areas, maybe create an hourly time frame Fibonacci level around these areas, and then we can potentially start to explode to the upside and fulfill all of those support and resistance levels on the left. So Euro USD having a bullish outlook, but the setup is not here yet. So let's be patient and wait for it. Euro JPY weekly time frame, not much setups on this pair. As you can see, we pushed into the highs to tap into that support and resistance level from the weekly, and we withdrew and we closed around 50% of the weekly range, which is kind of strange because it doesn't indicate a lot. And as you can see, the market opened right here, nice bullishness into the highs, found resistance, pulled back, and right now we're just sitting in the middle of that range. So from a daily time frame, we are actually trading in a range. Here is your high, and even the lows stem from right here. So this is your daily range, so be careful. And then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, you cannot see it because there is a lot of price action going on, but always having the bigger picture in mind will always help you because you know what to expect. So from a 4-hourly time frame, again, we started with a little pullback. The market exploded, potential opportunity right here, but it wasn't pretty nice, and it was during Asia, as you can see, 3 o'clock. Then we pushed into the highs, made our high, then we reversed. And this is when I was trying to catch a short, but the market got a little bit too choppy and not clear. If I drop to the hourly time frame, you just see consolidation. Then we dropped lower, and then we came from an equal lower high, which is still a setup, but then the 15-minute was just, it was just consolidative right here, potential opportunity, but the market just broke to the downside to maybe a stop loss, maybe to tap into support and resistance level, and then reversed. So Euro JPY, in just a few words, no trades and no clear setups. As for right now, what am I seeing on that structure? It's not pretty clear, knowing that on the back of my head that we are sitting exactly in the middle of the consolidation, because if we just drop a FIP, 50%, we are staying exactly in the middle, and we are having a lot of resistance levels right here. So this is my structure to the low, which is pretty pretty far away and it's not relevant. So what I want to see is how the market is going to react around those areas. There are a few scenarios, maybe a break in the retest, continuation into the highs, maybe a retracement, consolidation, then break in the retest into the highs, or maybe we're going to have a reversal to the downside. So Euro JPY, again guys, it's not clear to me right now what the direction is and what the structure is. So I'm letting it go, waiting for Monday, and make sure to stay tuned for my Tuesday analysis. Euro Aussie, the trade that I took this week, one of the trades, weekly time frame, as you can see, we nicely pushed into the highs, but we found a lot of resistance from those areas right here, and we withdrew all the way back almost to the open of the candle, which is pretty significant because this is a huge wick. However, wicks tend to be filled, so I do expect the next week to be bullish, so keep that in mind. Daily time frame, beautiful push and beautiful pullback right now with a break of structure on the left. So this is pretty nice because we are already in a pullback stage. The market started with the creation of this double bottom. So we failed to break lower and then we created a nice impulse pullback. So right now we can potentially expect the market to push into the highs. And as for targets, potentially we can expect like around these areas right here, around those support and resistance levels. First target 71, definitely 71, and maybe even below right here, but the market already tapped into those areas. So 71 will be a perfect target for a long-term trade. And as you can see from the 4-hourly time frame, the market opened right here, failed to break lower, nice push, potential longs right here. And where I took my, so I took a short on this one, it was right here. So as you can see, the market impulsed strongly to the upside, but then it started to create minor structure, push pullback, failed to break, nice impulse to the downside, nice pullback, and I actually expected it to go lower, and my take profit area was right here, around right here, and actually I can even catch the wick. So this was my TP area, 66,700, I remember. So how I took that trade, guys, hourly time frame, nice push to the downside, nice pullback, nice slowdown, dropping to the 15-minute time frame. My entry was taken from right here after I had this head and shoulders formation on the 15-minute. As you can see, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, break, retest. So my entry was right here on this candle. My stop loss was placed right here above this because placing it above did not make too much sense because we were already in a head and shoulders formation. I was protected by a bearish trend line as well and by structure. And how bad did I manage this trade? So the market pushed lower, pulled back right here, pushed lower, and I went break even right here. Very, very, very bad decision because the market then just pushed higher, stopped me out, and then it started to flush lower. And I've been pretty confused actually because those are some little mistakes that I really have to polish and I really work hard on them. This is why I've been a little bit quiet because I've been backtesting as well and trying to refine my entries because something is still missing. But definitely have a look, guys. 5.63 R&R. I would have ridden it by that point because this was my TP area. This is a huge move that has to be filled around these areas right here for a perfect retest. And as you can see, perfect. Even if you trailed your stop losses, it would have been perfect. And yeah, this is one of the trades that I took, but unfortunately a break-even trade. So what I can expect again on this one, as we tapped into this area, I potentially expect a reversal. However, we are still in a bearish market. So I have this structural area that has to be broken and I have this supportive level that does not have to be broken. All right. We can potentially run for a stop hunt, then break retest and then start to pump to the upside. This is a potential scenario, but more I'm looking to the upside for Euro Aussie because of the daily time frame and the 4-hourly time frame has to shift a little bit. So let's see if this is going to happen. The hourly time frame is already showing us first signs with this nice push and pullback, but I am not trading on Monday and I'm just waiting to see how the market is going to shift. We have the first break of minor structure, which is pretty good, but I want to see a little bit more signs and then I'm gonna start jumping to the upside. Aussie USD weekly time frame. Let's see what do we have here. We're having a bullish week overall, but nothing too major. It's like an inside bar again, so nothing too major from the weekly time frame. Daily time frame, so we opened a little bit bearish right here. We had a long opportunity on Monday, but I didn't take it. Some of the team actually took it and capitalized on it. Then we pushed lower to tap into this daily support level right here, and then we withdrew into the highs. So right now, are we looking for sales? Well, overall, it does look for sales because just looking at the structure, we had that push to the downside, we had that pullback. This is where shorts are usually taken, but the market manipulated above. And right now we flushed and we broke structure, which is right here. And right now we are in a pullback phase. And if I just drop a FIP on the daily time frame, we are just closing below the 50%. So maybe we're gonna run into the highs around 61.8, maybe 705 as well, and then we can start running into the downside. Full hourly time frame, a few long opportunities right here and right here, and actually a little long opportunity exactly on Monday, which was right here. The market opened with a nice push, nice pullback, bullish engulfing candle, 50% of the bullish engulfing candle, and a beautiful take profit. So let me just go back to show you guys. Again, break, retest, very simple from the wick, stop loss below, take profit, as we always do at the 27 extension, which came like very close, but usually you would take your profits because of spread and because of this. So this was a pretty nice, let's say 3.5 R&R trade for a Monday. And Monday actually provided a lot of setups on the Aussies. What happened later, we flushed to the downside. Then we started to change the structure. As I keep telling you, minor structure is key, because you see this lower high formation right here, but the market fails. It actually breaks higher to create a higher high. And then we have this one candle of pullback. Then dropping to the hourly time frame, you have a push, pullback, and you can definitely be looking for longs right here, but it wasn't that clear as far as I remember. Nope. So we had that push, triple bottom, then a little break and a retest, but it just wasn't looking too good for me, so I didn't take it. And then next trade was actually taken, but again, unfortunately, break even. We're having a beautiful downtrend to the downside, a beautiful break of structure, and a beautiful retest. First retest, second retest into the highs. So by that time, we will be going break even because the rule says so. Then we flush, break even, another tap into the lows, and then the market actually went to a complete take profit at the end of the day. But again, guys, bad management. Have a look at our usual profit, which is right here, almost to the pip, 71,500 tapped. So pretty unfortunate week. This is when I've been a little bit down trying to figure out what should be changing in my trading strategy. But again, as I said, it's an always constant hustle and constant work. So Aussie USD, here is your high. And here is your low. Right now, we're really compressed around these areas, so definitely need to see what's going to happen. We can potentially run into those areas right here, into this kind of a supply and demand area right here where the market pushed lower. We can have a little run into the highs, and then we can potentially start reversing. As I told you, from the daily time frame, we can expect a little bit more of a pullback, and I definitely think the Aussie will reach for those areas right here, 71,800s, and then we can start flushing down, break, retest, lower high formations, and then we can head lower. So overall, having a bearish outlook on the Aussies, however, looking for a little bit more price action, or if it's not gonna push higher, then at least I wanna see a break and a retest. And Aussie JPY, really nothing to speak about. Just look at the weekly candle. Very little indecision. Dropping to the daily time frame. 5 days of price action. Wick up, bearish candle, indecision, tries to push up, and then another indecision. So definitely nothing much. And I would expect this one, if it's about to go down, it will first pull back a little bit more. This is what I would expect, but we already broke below the structure, which is pretty nice. But I would definitely expect a little bit more of a pullback to the upside. And then, as you can see, dropping down to the 4 hourly time frame, you can always catch some opportunities in between this price action, maybe even on the hourly. Have a look at that push, pullback, potential trade, push, pullback, potential trade, but it's just consolidating, and I don't like it. So yeah, what should I mark on this one? Well, I'm very tempted to do this. Because this is your consolidation. It's as simple as that. But then again, if you zoom in a little bit, you're gonna see that last time the market broke, pulled back, so it's creating structure right now. So this is your minor, or yeah, I can even say major, but we're just sitting within a consolidation, which is really worrying me. So make sure to take note of those highs, because the market can run above and then retest, break back below, retest, and then continue down, which is a pretty nice stop hunt formation. Break, pullback, retest, and then we go, which kind of forms a head and shoulders as well. But if you combine it with a fake out, then it's something, then it's a different story. So make sure to extract this one. We can pull back in around those areas as well, a little bit higher to actually fulfill a bigger Fibonacci area. You can see we haven't tapped the 38.2, and this area is perfectly sitting at a 61.8. So maybe we're gonna have a short-term bullishness around those areas, and then we can start flushing. So let's see how Monday will open, and then we're gonna readjust our analysis and start striking the market with whatever it has provided us. Aussie Swiss franc was another pair that I traded this week, so let's have a look. As you can see, we plunged into the lows, but we actually left a huge wick, and what I would expect right now is that wick to get filled at least 50%. So potentially the week might start bearish, all right? daily time frame, what do we have? A beautiful push to the downside right now, providing us with a pullback. So definitely looks like shorts right now. So I would expect the downside, but maybe first of all, we're gonna pull back a little bit more to gather liquidity and to retest those major areas, because it's too far away, and maybe a tap on the daily EMA will be beautiful. 4-hourly time frame, where I took my trade, was from right here, I believe. So my targets was at 64,700, which stems from right here. This was my target, this nice liquidity area right here, and as you can see, it was tapped to perfection. Then my entry was, let me see where I took the trade. It was from the downside right here after the market started to break right here. So I'm gonna recognize it on the 15-minute. Here we go. So as you can see, again, we have a wick, run into the lows, run into the lows, run into the lows, and another run exactly below these areas. That happened around Asian session. Then we have a little push and a pullback, which formed a head and shoulders formation, but I was patient. What is happening? I was patient. So we have left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But what I waited for is to see a little break. Here is your break. Here is your retest, entry from the EMA as well. This is how we do it. Stop loss, I placed it not below the structure because I found it too aggressive. I placed it right here, 9 pips. And then again, guys, as you can see, the target was up there for a nice 3.88 R&R. But what I did right here, the market pushed into the highs, pulled back, then pushed again, pulled back, then pushed again. So I went break even. I can't stand it. And then what the market did, of course, break even. And guess what? We pushed into the highs. So again, pretty unlucky. Maybe it's bad management, maybe it's the market, I don't know, but definitely I need to work more on my break-even rules. So beautiful trade, guys. Make sure to go explore it, see how you could have entered. But right now I definitely expect sellers to come in, but maybe first of all we're gonna run into the highs again for another leg up to gather the liquidity, maybe even to break above those areas to catch some stop losses and this sort of stuff. Or we can actually start reversing, but currently we are still in a bullish trend because we have a push, pullback, push, still pullback. So definitely what I need to see is the market to create at least a little pullback, minor lower high structure, break below, retest, lower high, and then we go down. All right, so let's see how Monday is gonna play out, and then we start striking on Tuesday. Let's have a look at the NZDs NU weekly time frame. We are having a bullish week, nice bullish candle, wick to the bottom, indicating that the market first gathered the liquidity and then actually started to pump up. So that's pretty good. We can potentially run into those highs right here, which is 0.68, pretty nice round number, and a nice double top on the daily that the market can potentially come and retest and maybe even stop hunt. So daily time frame, last 5 days of price action, we opened with a little bit of bullishness, but we still didn't have the strength to push up. And guess what the market does? It goes below for a stop hunt to gather the liquidity, and then we have 3 days of bullish price action, which was pretty nice, and we actually managed to catch a long trade after the market created this higher low. So yeah, right here, no trades up until that point. The market flushed, nothing. Then the market pulled back, potential shorts, but this was Asian session. And then actually the next day, the market was already pushing into the highs. Then we had that pullback, and then we had actually the trade of opportunity. As you can see, a nice push, nice pullback. So the trade was taken from right here. This was actually a trade by a member of mine, because it was Asian session, yeah, around right here, and he's trading Asia. So we had that like break and retest right here. It wasn't that clear, but how he actually entered was with a buy stop right here, stop loss below, and then the take profit goes with our take profit measurement, which is at the 27 extension, and it wasn't too much, 2.5 R&R, but it was hit to perfection as well. So it was a pretty nice trade that actually continued later to the upside after this correction. But after the correction happened, here we did not have an entry. One of our rules wasn't ticked right here, so we did not manage to capitalize on that long setup. As for right now, as I told you, I still do expect the market to continue maybe a little bit higher. But if you just see this price action, guys, what is the market doing? Like, it's in an overall consolidation, all right? But we can always trade within that consolidation. So right now the market is creating upwards moving structure, higher low formation, and here is our last higher low, which consists of a lot of wicks. So what I want to see is how the market is going to stay above that higher low, because we can potentially plunge below, because this is a huge push. And if I jump on the daily, it's a nice impulsive move on the daily, and maybe we're potentially going to have a daily pullback and then maybe start going up. All right, so be careful. Let's see how Monday plays out. If the market comes around those areas, you definitely need to see some sort of rejections in order to prove that there are still buyers coming from that area, because potentially this might be as well oversold and we might start to go down, or overbought. Sorry, not sure. I don't use indicators, so yeah, but let's see what do we have on NZD/USD. I don't currently like the price action because it's a little bit too high and the higher lows are starting to get a little bit compressed, which means that orders are starting to run out of steam and we might have another run to the downside, which will be a daily pullback. And having a quick look on the NZD/JPY, absolutely the same situation, but a little bit choppier. As you can see, we start with a push lower, consolidation, then we push higher, we pull back. So this is a potential trade right here, but I believe this was Friday already. Hourly time frame, bullish engulfing candle, beautiful, but no retest. I can see already that we did not have a trade right here, so it's perfectly fine. What we can expect on this one, again, overall the price action is in a consolidation. Daily time frame, yeah, it's not clear. So we have those major areas right here. Oops, this major area right here and this major area right here that the market can potentially run into, this major support and resistance area. So from the 4-hourly time frame, what I can see is that the market is currently moving up. Here is my last structural higher low, and here is a most recent double top. So what we can do is we have to monitor how the market is going to behave around those two areas. It's pretty tricky right now because many things can happen. We can have a break retest continuation, continuous consolidation, or maybe stop hunts. All right, and hence why, guys, I always tell you, avoid trading Mondays. Let's see what the market has for us. Let's wait for that false move on Monday, which is usually false. Sometimes it's continuation, but most of the times it's a false movement. And then on Tuesday, we're gonna see the clear trend and then we are gonna strike. All right, so NZD/JPY, I don't want to call any bias because I just want to see where the market is gonna flow and then I'm gonna start striking it. USD/JPY weekly time frame, interesting price action this week. So as you can see, the EMA is perfectly tapping on the weekly time frame, meaning that the market is still trending down. So once we have the overall direction of the market, we can focus more on sales. But being a day trader, we can like go long, go short, go long, go short, but always keep in mind the bigger picture. So what the market did this week is so we opened right here, little consolidation, then we started with this fake to the upside to gather the liquidity before the move down. It was a huge move, and as you can see on the 4-hourly time frame, we had that really corrective price action. So all the people are entering right here at the double top, thinking that the market is going down, but what the market does is it fakes out to the upside, takes out all the stop losses, takes out all the highs right here, and then we actually start plunging to the downside. I did not get this move. The only time that I could have gotten is after this actually break and retest right here on the hourly time frame. Perfect tap of the EMA, but have a look at the time, 1 o'clock. So by the time I am in deep sleep. So yeah, as you can see, it was beautiful. Nice uptrend right here, break, retest, EMA tap. So our entry could have been right here. Stop loss, where is the stop loss? Stop loss above right here, like even place it a little bit more conservative. And yeah, well, I wouldn't have holded this trade to the downside, probably would have taken take profits around the areas. But yeah, it depends. If it just keeps flushing down, then there is no point in not letting it go. Like you can just trail your stop loss right here. This is currently a strategy that I'm developing for trailing my stop losses and avoiding getting stopped out of break even. So this is the only time that you could have entered USD/JPY according to me. Because then we have this consolidation right here, which is not pretty clear. The market made a high, pulled back, equal higher lows because we overall moved in a bullish market, push, pull back, higher high, equal higher low, and failure to break above. So right now, what are we doing? We're sitting in this consolidation box. So what I need to see is what's gonna happen. Potentially the market is gonna feel that whole push right here, and we can expect the market to open a little bit bullish and to start coming to retest those areas, this one as well, and to fill that daily push. All right, so let's see. Pretty curious to see how this market is gonna open because we're overall in a consolidation. There is nothing clear to be traded, guys. Don't rush. Don't just see this huge move and go short and miss out on the move. If you don't get at the top right here, or maybe in a pullback in the middle, when the market is down there, it's already over. Don't go for it. Let's wait for a pullback right now, or let's just see what the market is gonna do. And I'm having an overall bearish bias on UJ, but first of all, I need to see my setup and my opportunities, so patiently waiting for them. USD CAD, pretty tricky price action this week. So as you can see, we're having a bearish week, but nothing too much. It's actually an engulfing candle of just the body of the previous, but really not much information. What can be expected is the market to run into those lows to potentially either break them or just to create a double bottom. So let's see if this is gonna happen. Daily time frame, so having a look at the 5 days of price action open right here with a straight flush to the downside. Then we tried to continue lower, but we actually took out those lows right here. Let me just draw them correctly like this. We took out the lows. A lot of liquidity was sitting right here. Then we pulled back, and right now we're just in the middle. So dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, it was pretty hard to forecast this push to the downside, because you can see, like, we opened with a push to the downside, then the market pulls back, and this is already Tuesday, and we have wick. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm not confident in this market. And then all of a sudden the market just breaks. And I think the opportunity was actually on the hourly time frame, because we had a clear break of the most recent structure and a perfect retest back. So dropping to the 15-minute time frame, yeah, the 15-minute time frame wasn't looking good to me. Now I remember, because we had that push, we had that pullback, and we have this another push to the downside. And I was like, well, yeah, this can be a higher low as well. Not sure what I was thinking, but then the market retraced back, and then we had a nice flush to the downside. So I didn't take these trades. It was kind of confusing to me, so I just decided to step aside, and it was another I don't call them missed trades, because they just don't trade according to my plan. Then what the market does, as I said, breaks the lows and starts to reverse. So we have a bullish candle, we have a little pullback that we can potentially take longs if we expect the market is going to reverse, because we're overall bearish. And then the market creates a high, very nice. So we are overall in a bullish market, and then the market tries to create a higher low but fails to break above. First time it fails, second time it fails. So by that time you should stop taking longs, because you can see the market is forming minor structure and it's not breaking above. And as you can see on the hourly time frame, potential trades right here. Yeah, let me check the 15-minute if there was. Probably you can take a trade right here with a stop loss below, and you get stop loss. And then again right here, this is not a trade, because the market went too far away before the retest, so not a trade. So possibly you could have had a loss on USD CAD. As for right now, it's pretty tricky. As I told you, we have this low that was violated, and then the market reacted from it pretty strongly. So this turns into my major structure, and then I have those minor resistance area that I'm just gonna mark with a line like this. So what I want to see is what Monday is gonna do. Are we gonna break below this low to start creating bearish structure? Are we gonna pull back into the major structures right here to potentially gather the liquidity? Potentially this can be a case, and then we can pull back right here into this nice liquidity pool, and then we can start pumping to the downside as well. So let's see USD CAD. It's not pretty clear right now. This market has been pretty confusing for me personally. It reacts from certain levels of supply and demand, support and resistance. So this is not what I trade usually, because I'm a trend continuation trader and I look for lower highs and higher lows. But again, you have to constantly adapt and seek those things. So let's see, just being very patient on Monday to see what this is gonna do, and then striking it on the next days. USD Swiss franc, as you can see, a beautiful bearish engulfing on the weekly time frame. So we were pretty bearish this week, and we can potentially expect the next one to actually continue to the downside and maybe break below those lows as well, which is 0.90. Very key level in this market. So make sure to be aware of where the market is going right now. So a daily time frame, again, we open right here from the top with a nice liquidity grab with a stop hunt above, and then we just plunged to the downside. Thursday was a retracement, and actually Friday was a nice continuation to the downside. Unfortunately, I did not trade this one. So this was pretty early on Monday open. I actually spoke to it. I believe I actually told you as well on my Tuesday analysis that the market ran exactly above the highs. Nice plummet to the downside. Second opportunity was right here, but it was too low. How do you know that this is the pullback and then the market is gonna plunge to the downside? And then we have this nice pullback above, which could have been a tradable opportunity, and then we plunge lower. Hourly time frame right here, there was a potential trade after this bearish engulfing candle, because there was a retest. Yeah, have a look, but it was just with those wicks. So we have this wick, and maybe this is your break of structure and this is your retest, and then we had lower. So it would have been beautiful, but I did not take this one. And then right here, actually, we had that stop hunt above on the Asian session, pull back, and then the market consolidated, and then we just flushed when London opened. So this is how this pair developed this week. It was pretty nice, but unfortunately, no trades for me. As for right now, my major structure is pretty clear. Right here, we're having a double bottom that will be broken, and what I think it's gonna do, knowing the current market conditions, is the market is gonna break this double bottom and it's gonna run all the way into those areas, and then we're gonna have a push, pullback, and then we're gonna have a reversal. So this is what I can expect, because this is a very major area, guys. This is 0.90, and this is the market. This is an area where the market just tapped and reversed. So there is a lot of liquidity sitting right here. So be careful. Make sure to be watching this one, because I think it's gonna be interesting. And with the elections upcoming, this is a USD pair. It's strongly correlated to the DXY and Euro USD as well, so it's gonna be pretty interesting. But expecting a shorter term bearishness, but then I will be very careful when the market comes into 0.90, and I can even start to capitalize on some longs, to speculate on some long setups, all right? So let's see what's gonna happen. Stay tuned for the Tuesday analysis, and I'm pretty curious to see USD Swiss franc. Alright, let's have a look at the GBPs. I don't want to disappoint you again, but it has been a pretty tricky week. Some massive pushes and then just a pullback, so I couldn't capitalize on any of them. But we had a beautiful trade on GA, which I didn't take, but some of the members took, which I'm pretty happy about, and I'm gonna show you right now. So GU, as you can see, overall bullish week, but we ran into the highs. It was a very huge push, and then we withdrew all the way down, potentially tapping into this sort of area right here, which is a nice liquidity spot. Then dropping to the daily time frame, what you can see is the market opens right here with a little gap to the downside. We tried to push higher on Monday, Tuesday consolidation, and then on Wednesday all of a sudden the market explodes. So I couldn't forecast this move, so I didn't take it, and as you can see, hourly time frame wasn't really clear. So we started right here, we pulled back, so it was looking like short by that time. But then the market dropped lower, consolidated, there were no trades, and then all of a sudden huge move into the upside, fulfilling that area of 31,800 to perfection. And then the market just provided us with a pullback. So like nothing. I cannot speak, because this is your price action. The market opens right here and ends up right here. So you have a consolidation first of all, then you have a huge move, and then you have a pullback. So I'm not sure where you could have capitalized, but this is just me, maybe right here around those areas. So yeah, what can I expect next week? I really don't know, guys, and I'm not too eager to trade the GBPs, especially with Brexit talks right now and with the elections, because it's still a USD pair, and GBP, like, it's one of the major pairs. It's heavily manipulated. So let's see what's gonna happen. Potentially we can try to reach around those areas, because this is where the market started the push. So there is liquidity residing right there. So maybe we can create a little shorter term bearish trend until we tapped into those areas, and then we can start to look for a change in direction. All right, so I'm having an overall bullish outlook on the GBPs, but I just think this is not a place to buy it. All right, and we're creating right now a complex correction, so it can definitely continue to the downside, but I'm not taking any trades until the market arrives around those areas right here. So I'm looking for this. Right now the FIP is sitting at a 61.8, so definitely needing to see one final push to the downside in around those areas, and then I'm gonna start looking for buys. All right, so GU, bullish outlook, but I need to see a little bit of a bigger pullback. GJ, what can we say about this one? Well, we open right here, up, down, consolidation, up, down. So this is it. Weekly time frame, you can see again, we pushed into the highs and we closed all the way to even below 50% of the weekly range. Daily time frame, again, as you can see, we opened with a gap, pushed into the highs, and right now pull back. And overall sitting in a consolidation. So have a look where the major lows is, and have a look where the major highs. So consolidation, forward time frame, you can see it clearly, but you can see price action in between those areas. And yeah, I cannot spot any trade on this one. We pushed into the highs, potential pullback right here, potential longs, but the market fails, lower low, and by this point you stop looking for longs and you wait for a change in direction, and the market creates an equal lower high, maybe even a short opportunity right here, and then we flush lower. So what do I expect on this pair? Major structure right here, and yeah, so it's just confusing to me, guys, and I don't trade confusing markets, because we can over analyze this one. We can try to search for those areas. We can plot a few like support or resistance here, right here, and we can just trade from them, but this is not how it works. Just follow structure and just see what the market wants to do. Right now we are potentially tapping into this major area. So because right here, this is where the market started to move as well. So this is your supply and demand area. And yeah, Nothing to say on this one. Sorry guys, but it's just unclear to me. I need to see some structure develop and then I'm gonna strike. So let's see if by Tuesday we're gonna have something develop right here so that I can let you know on the Telegram analysis. And GA, as you can see, previous week was bullish, so we can expect the market to run again. And where we ran into the highs of this structure right here. Let me just drop a little line right here, perfectly above this, and then we were encountered with a lot of sellers upcoming. As you can see, perfect break above the double tops, and then we start to reverse to the downside. 4 hourly time frame where the trade was taken was from right here. It was not taken by me, but we have a nice push, nice pullback. So this is bullish. For EMA confluence right here, 4 hourly EMA, sorry, confluence, hourly time frame, the market plunges into the lows, pulls back and comes back to create a higher low formation. All right, so it doesn't break below. It shows us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hourly candles of rejections. And then how the trade was executed was actually with a buy stop. All right, so the buy stop was above right here, and then the stop loss was below. And then where the target was, as usual, how we measure our take profits, it was right here, which hit to the for a nice 3.5 R&R. I didn't take this trade because you can see, it was London open, but I didn't take it because there was no break in retest. It was slightly aggressive, and I usually don't like stop orders because a stop can just trigger it in and then it can reverse. All right, so I always want to see a break in the retest. But it was a pretty nice trade to capitalize on GA. And then, as I told you, the market ran above, the stop loss is right here, and then we had a huge reversal down. So this one actually right now looks like sells. All right, why? Because we broke below this structure that we took longs from. The market pushed, minor structure, push, minor structure, and right now staying at a lower low. However, it's a little bit too low right now. So what I would expect in this market is for a little bit of a pullback. Lower high formation to be formed around those areas right here. And then we can potentially start looking for shorts on GA. All right, so short buys on GA, but just looking for a little bit of a pullback, lower high formation, and then we can start to run to the downside. Euro GBP, I don't want to look at that pair because, just have a look. This is not tradable. It's just huge move up, huge move down, move up, no. So this is a pretty bad combination of Euro, the Eurozone problems, and Brexit. So not nice. What I would advise you is just to step aside this pair and just look at something else. It's currently cooking for something. You have this huge push and this whole correction right here, but before a move there will be a stop hunt, and where the stop hunt will be below those areas right here. So the market can run below and then start to explode, but this is just pure speculation. So I don't want to give you any bias on Euro GBP because I don't know it myself, and I will be waiting for some clear structure to form in this one before I trade it. But I have actually removed it from my watch list, so I'm not looking to trade Euro GBP. So this is the GBP, guys. I really hope something will happen on Monday so that I can show you some clear structure on Tuesday, and then we can potentially try to capitalize on them. But my little advice is try to focus on the other pairs and even start looking at the minors and the crosses. Aussie Swiss franc, Euro Swiss franc, Euro CAD, pairs like this, they work very nice right now. All right, quickly covering gold because the video is getting a little bit too long. So right here we are having a indecision week again. Daily time frame, nothing too much. 5 days of price action. We tried to push into the highs, but we immediately encountered resistance and we're back in the consolidation. So potential level of interest will be right here that the market can run above and then potentially reverse. And the daily big supportive level is right here. 4 hourly time frame. Again, you can see we could have had some buyers. Because it was overall moving to the upside, but when we broke actually and when we tried to retest where potentially we could have had an opportunity, a setup was not provided, and then the market broke below, came above right here for a lower high formation and a little bit of a head and shoulders as well, and then we drew to the downside into this overall, like have a look at all of those wicks, wick. So this is a pretty strong supportive level. So gold, the bias is not clear right now. We're sitting in the middle of a daily consolidation and then we're having a little bit of a supportive level right here. And if you want the most recent price action structure, it's right here. So I'm not trading gold until the elections because the move is going to happen there. So be patient and just wait for it. And wrapping up with just a very quick look on the indices, because they didn't move too much this week. As you can see, the market retested the structure perfectly. We went below, but it was just a stop hunt potentially, or the market just couldn't sustain the buyers coming in. Then we went again into that resistance area and we found resistance, and then we were back into the support. So summed up, we had nothing on US30, and actually the same structure is gonna remain because there is nothing to change. And then just to show you NASDAQ, yeah, this is your price action for this week. So nothing much. We're having the major resistance right here, and if I'm to draw a support, I will draw it like this, catching the bodies and the wicks. And what I'm waiting for is for a clear direction. So this one is awaiting the elections as well. So right now, as I told you, we are trading in a dangerous times, so not rushing for anything. Alright guys, so I really hope you extracted something valuable from the video. I always try to give you my trade, the team's trades as well, so you can just look into like behind the scenes and figure out how do we trade. It's a little gift from me as well, so I really hope you appreciate it. And make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to support the channel, because it really means a lot. Stay tuned, I'm gonna be dropping some more videos soon, and I wish you a crushing week guys. Stay tuned for the Tuesday analysis, and let's kill it.